Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is focused on you and cannot stop. I did say I would rather talk about old subject matters that used to pop up on live streams than talk about all of this Blu-ray stuff. So not even gonna complain. We're not gonna complain. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna be complainers. So let me just get these cards ready. How are y'all doing? The gist that I'm getting, I'm all breathing hard. The gist that I'm getting is that, there are certain types of things that are kind of circling back around, and you're going to need to maybe address it, or, I don't know. Let's just pull cards. Let's pull cards. Okay. Oh, guys, do you guys hear that? Well, I'm getting these cards ready. I made bracelets. I don't plan to sell these long term, just so y'all know. But my main thing was like, the babies need to be protected, right? After, this round of bracelets, which is just a handful, I actually have someone that I can recommend. If you guys want custom crystal bracelets, I can recommend them. Let me finish getting these cards really quick. Final deck. Do you guys want to see how the bracelets look? It's so freaking adorable. It is. Oh my God. It's so freaking cute. I want to keep one for myself, but I don't wear bracelets. All right. So here, look real quick. How adorable do they sound? Okay. So there's different types of clasps. How fucking adorable. How adorable is this? You know what I'm saying? It's so freaking cute. Here. This one has a magnetic clasp. So I just doop. Ooh. OMG. OMG. And then I made one for infants. Oh my God. For infants. Boys, toddlers, right? And I've had these crystals for so effing long. It's ridiculous. This one can be a choker, right? Could be a choker, or it could be a double wrapped. And again, they have different clasps. This one has to do with Phoenix Fire. So effing cute. I wish I could wear jewelry all the time. I actually, some of these could be anklets. I've been toying around with like being able to extend it. So, okay, let me do the reading. I'm sorry, guys. It's super duper cute. I'm just like, ah! Yes. Okay. Breathe deep. So there is focus on you, and whoever's focused on you is just, yeah, They're very, very focused. So let's see. Oh, wait, but this is good for you. So it's seeming like whoever is super duper focused on you is a person who maybe, I'm hesitant to say this because I don't want people to think that this is like the green light to try and pester me. um, Well, this reading's not for me anyways. So what I'm getting is that for some of you, whoever this person is, it's an individual who has some type of soul connection to you. This is not going to apply to everyone. It definitely doesn't apply to people who are stalker in nature. Okay. Okay. So whoever this is someone who's very respectful of you. This is not someone who is trying to force you to interact or anything like that, but they've been reactivated, meaning they have their fixation with you has returned. I don't know that they will come forward. I just know that they're fixated on you again. Okay, so this is someone from your past. I don't know that you've been in a relationship with them, but definitely this is someone from your past. They're trying to bring into manifest form some type of connectivity with you. Sorry, I have a whole bunch of bracelets here on my desktop. They're trying to bring into form a whole bunch of, sorry, they're trying to bring into form, Michael says, I really don't want to say these things because I'm always concerned that this type of subject matter is going to be used by people who are very disrespectful of your space to justify the continued attempt to access you. Um, they're trying to bring a connection with you into actual manifest form, right? They're wondering how much of their energy and their time they should dedicate to this. And honestly, it's almost like this thing of they've already been dedicating so much of their energy and their time trying so hard to figure out how to make things right, but not actually having the courage to come forward and interact and communicate with you, right? So then comes the shadow mirror. So this is someone who who definitely has like a mirroring aspect. This is someone who has a soul connection with you. It's something really, really deep. It's a really, really deep connection. I don't know that you guys were even friends. It seems like for some of you, this is someone that is just aware that you exist. Like you might have interacted at some point, but it doesn't necessarily feel like this is something or someone that you've had a full on relationship with. Okay. So their fixation with you is going to continue on through to the spring. And I think it's that point they're either going to find the courage to come up to you, to reach out to you, or they're going to get the clarity to move on from you, to move forward. Okay? Their proximity to you is happening for a purpose. It's increasing your personal power. Now, you don't have to interact for your personal power to increase. This is about the ways in which their proximity, their energy, just the energy alone, is initiating a process within you, a process that is diverting energy from one part of your morphogenetic template into another part. And that's what's causing a lot of the activation to occur. So, for some people, this might be a person you're very annoyed with. I don't know. I don't know because for some, part of the way that you divert the energy from one part of your template to the other is because you're annoyed, because you're inconvenienced, because this, because that. So, I mean, you have to play this by ear. Only you really know exactly what this means, okay? Fertility. This is giving you the opportunity to create things. You're entering into a fertile space where your energy can be something that is in a highly creative state, right? Like I've been feeling extremely creative as of late, just extremely creative as of late. Haven't really done much with it. Well, actually, I have. I've been super busy, but it's really been a thing of um, allowing so much of the creativity to flow, right? Allowing so much of my creativity to just flow. Um, Knowing that there's going to be different outlets for this to flow through. So, I'm picking up on some energies. Okay. Ethos and cleansing. Ethos and cleansing. So you need to cleanse your mindset of the limitations that you've believed in for so long. There are limitations in mindset that are causing you to operate from a space of possibly from a space of fear. Um, One second. So you've possibly been operating from a space of fear. You've possibly been operating from a space of denial. I think that needs to be corrected at this point. I think at this point, you need to kind of just be open to the different potentialities of how certain people are meant to fit in your life. And that includes being open to the very real potential that maybe some people who you thought was supposed to fit into your life really was never supposed to fit into your life. You were just made to be aware of their existence and be triggered by it, be moved by it, inspired by it, whatever it is. Yeah, whatever it is. Huh. I don't know. It's making me really hot. I am wearing two pairs of pants, so let me let me take off my sweats. Okay. So, so there's a lot of resistance, probably on your part. There's a resistance to the path that you're supposed to be on. It's almost like this sense that the path you're supposed to be on involves specific details or maybe specific people that you are really struggling to accept. Again, I want to make it very, very clear. None of my readings are about, yeah, see, none of my readings are about allowing toxic people back into your life. Never, ever, ever allow a toxic person back into your life after you have successfully removed them. I'm so serious. I'm not about um, any of the forgiveness program. I'm just not. I don't believe in forgiveness. And let me explain why. Forgiveness oftentimes requires people to go ahead and think just because you're moving forward from the harm that was done to you, you suddenly need to make it a point to allow toxic people back into your life, have interactions with them, be accessible to them, be friends with them, because that's the mark of forgiving, right? Wrong. Absolutely wrong. After you've done certain types of things to me to a certain degree, I will never let you back into my life. I will never let you back into my life. Does that mean I feel some type of way? Usually, no. And I say usually because there's one specific person, and it's the only person in existence, where I'm like, no, fuck you and your mama too. And I will always feel that way. I will always feel that way. Always, 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 always. For just that one specific person. Outside of that one specific person, I'm kind of just like, whatever. Like, I can't be bothered. I just can't. Have you changed and are you a good person now? If yes, beautiful for you. Go live your life away from me. You've already shown me what you are capable and willing to do to a person who is like me, a person who oftentimes struggles with boundaries, oftentimes overgives, is overly patient, overly kind. I'm good. It's not even about me being angry or holding a grudge. You see, the truly toxic people will accuse you. Oh, I said what the fuck I said. The truly toxic people will accuse you of holding a grudge. Like, just let it go already. Every single time that I just let it go already, it's usually the really toxic person that takes that as a sign that they're gonna be okay, meaning there's no consequence for their behaviors. So then they'll do it more and more and more, right? So I don't know, but this next card is masculine in reverse. There's some of you who are dealing with a toxic ass person and you're wondering if this reading is about them. No, the fuck it's not. No, it is not. I would never be okay with encouraging you to return back to a toxic situation that you've already successfully put behind you. I would never be okay with that. No, 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 no. This reading is about a situation where there was no toxicity like that. There was no malignancy towards you. This is someone that you already know that you might have a history with. It might be platonic, it might be romantic. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'm not too sure. But it's a history that kind of just fizzled out. It's a history where you guys kind of just went your own ways. There was no like violating your space, violating your sovereignty, disrespecting your decisions. There was none of that. You guys don't ever fucking tolerate that kind of shit. Don't ever tolerate any of that. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So carrying forward. Okay, everything just went upside down. What the hell? I think this is about whoever this other person is to you. For those who are dealing with someone who is non-toxic, right? And that's important yet again to say. This person no longer wants to be on timeout. This person no longer wants to be away from you. They are just, they got an itch on their butt crack they cannot scratch. It seems as though they think about you consistently as of late, like consistently as of late. And it's almost getting to a point where they feel like they don't have any freedom from you. It's frustrating them. I mean, if this has been going on for how long? Why wouldn't you be frustrated? I don't know. I think some people need to get to a point where they realize like you got to do something about it. You just do. You got to do something about it. I don't know. I think you're both getting frustrated. I think it stems from this belief that you are not enough for the other person, whether it's you thinking that or them thinking that. It stems from the belief that you are not enough. It stems also from a lack of compassion for self. It's almost like this justification for the suffering. Like, I'm not enough, so it's my place in life to suffer and struggle with dealing with their absence. I mean, if that's what you want, you could. You could go and do that if you want. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not good with this subject matter because I'm very first off Capricorn moon, second off Capricorn Venus. So I'm kind of just like, do something or don't. Make up your mind. And that's how I live my life. Do something or don't, and stick with the decision. Make up your mind. This back and forth is annoying, right? You're either going to do it or you're not. And if you're not, clip the lip. Clip the lip. Just leave it be. Leave it be. I'm not the only one that's like that, am I? I'm not the only one. I hope. I hope. Because at least at least you know that if I'm if like I'm interested in being your friend, and if I was single and I was interested in you romantically, like, you would know. You would know. You would absolutely know. I have no problem not responding to things. I have no problem with that. Like, mm-mm. There's this one person in the gym. I've like I've told myself, I think you'd be fine as a friend. It's a gal. It's a gal. And the other day, actually the other week, we were talking about personal trainers, and she said this one girl is amazing, and she's like, yeah, she knows she's on Instagram. And I was like, oh, really? She goes, yeah, let me show you her profile. And I was like, oh, okay. So I see it and I'm like, oh, I'm going to follow her, which I don't even scroll on Instagram. I don't know her name anymore. And then this girl goes, oh, what's your Instagram? I'll follow you. We can follow each other. And I was like, no, girl. Shit's popping off on my Instagram. Shit's totally popping off on my social media. You don't want to be part of that. It's just drama. You don't want any of that, girlfriend. And she goes, oh, and I'm like, yeah, just you don't want any of that. She goes, oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't want that. And I was like, yeah, no, you don't want that. So then fast forward a few weeks, turns out she's a hairstylist. And I'm like, girl, my hair is a mess. I cut it myself because I don't trust anybody at this point. I don't. They be fucking up my hair and I don't have much left. And she goes, oh, yeah, no, I totally get it. And I was like, do you cut hair? And she said, yeah, I do. And I was like, oh, do you take appointments? Do you have a shop? She goes, I can either go to your house or you can come to mine. But yeah, no, I totally can. And then she says to me, we should exchange numbers. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, totally. Totally. What's your number? I'm going to text you. At which point I texted her. And I know I didn't do the wrong thing by texting her so I could get my hair cut, not for free, but to get my hair cut properly. Because this girl didn't text me back for like a week or two. She didn't respond back. But I would see her at the gym and she'd be like, girl, I'm going to text you. Don't worry. And I was like, no, it's fine. I've been super busy too. So perfect, beautiful. I gave myself permission to connect with someone, and that person is like me. Does not text back, takes weeks on end to respond. Perfect. That's how I know we're going to get along. You're not going to pester me. You're not going to be someone who's trying to stalk me. You're not going to be like, oh, where's she at? Where's she at? So that's perfect, right? That's perfect. That's me finally allowing myself to start connecting with people. Not a lot. She's probably the only one who I will ever connect with at the gym like that, where you're going to have access to my personal info. She still don't know what I do for work. I don't know that she needs to know. Right? So, transformation in reverse. This situation, it's not transforming you into another person, into another version of yourself. This situation is intended to bring you into greater alignment and deeper acceptance of who you are. You as yourself right now. I mean, how much do you really need to change about yourself if this person, ooh, Michael goes pining away. They've been pining away for you. Oh, Lord. Mm. That's the door slowly opening. That's the door slowly opening. Oh, Lord. I think for some of you, this is indicating the start of a relationship that's been a long time coming. I think for others of you, I don't know what it means. Someone's been pining away for some of you. Someone's been pining away, and I think you know who it is. If you know who it is and it's something that's mutual, I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe it's time for you to say something. Maybe it's time for you to say something, or maybe it's time for you to just ask flat out, like, hey, so I always get this weird vibe around you, but it's not like a bad vibe. What's up with that? I'm just saying, just ask them flat out, like, what's up with that? What's up with you? Nothing. What's up with you? Nothing. What's up with you? Nothing. What's up with you? I think you guys really need to open yourself to the potentiality. Um, but like, I don't know. It's this sense that for some, this I want to call it like a love thing. This love thing you got going on, it's starting to get to a point where it's super de duper ripe, and you need to just like pluck that fruit. I don't know what that means. You need to pluck the fruit and consume it. Mm. Michael, what does this all mean? I'm basing it off of what Michael is saying. He said it's as long as the fruit is not forbidden fruit. Do you know what that means? Let me I don't know. Ask Michael to elaborate on pining away. This person has like had some really intense feelings for you for a very long time. A very long time, you guys. I don't know what to tell you guys. This is very uncomfortable. I know. So my brother got me, it arrived the other day. He got me a hydrogen flask. It creates hydrogen water. See, look, it's creating hydrogen. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and increase that. Okay. They're feeling hopeless about moving forward from you. I don't think they can. To be honest, I don't think they can. I think this is someone who's been in the background of your life for how long? They've been in the background of your life for how long? And kind of maybe just watching, maybe kind of just I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep pulling cards. Holy shit. You guys. This is totally a love reading for y'all. Oh my gosh, he's whoever this is, he or she is so emo. They are so emo. Oh my god. Are you dealing with like a water sign? Water signs are emo. I know because my chart. Did you know? Oh my god. I have a water stellium. I didn't know that. I just found out that I have a water stellium. Exciting. I don't know what it means, but yeah, I've heard people talk about stelliums and I'm just like, oh, that's cool, whatever. So this person, they have the fortitude to see this through. They're not going to stop anytime soon. I don't know that they're going to like reach out. I don't know that um it doesn't feel like this is a person who is disrespectful of you. It feels like a lot of the issue here is that they have no problem, being very like forward. They have no problem being direct and pursuing what they want, except when it comes to you. When it comes to you, they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Okay. I don't know what you should do either. Michael says, ask your mom. That's rude. I don't know. Um, wait, what? What do you mean by that? It's suddenly not funny. It's suddenly not funny. I don't know what you guys need to do. Um, magnetism in reverse. So this isn't just about someone, being drawn to you like a magnet, right? For some, you guys might think that being drawn to you like a magnet carries with it this um nothing but carnal desires type of circumstance. I don't know. I This doesn't feel like it's just some type of um it doesn't feel like this is just some type of regular connection, to be honest. It feels like this is something that is deeply rooted in a soul-based connection. Um That okay, let me clarify. Soul-based connections do not guarantee that you will be together and happy for the rest of your lives. Soul-based connections can also crash and burn. Soul-based connections can also cause tremendous amounts of pain. As a matter of fact, when there is conflict within that soul-based connection, the pain and discomfort that you feel is much more elevated than a regular schmegular um, human connection. It's much more elevated. It is like very destructive internally. So just because it's a soul-based connection doesn't mean it's supposed to be perfection in the human sense. You have to use your discernment, okay? Because this message is not going to apply to everybody. It's really not. It's not going to apply to everyone. And I would hate for someone who's dealing with a toxic person to hear this and be like, oh my gosh, this is evidence. I need to hold on. I need to try harder. So I'll say this. I've been with my husband. We're working on 26 years at this point, right? We have a soul-based connection, but we're not twins. we're polar opposites. My husband and I are polar opposites. We are not twins. At no point have I ever identified him as a twin, but I do remember quite a few different lifetimes where the objective of that lifetime, and we failed to realize that objective, was to have the life we have right now. So it's quite a few lives. This is actually the first life where we have been able to be together long term, have the family, all of that. That's a soul-based connection. And I tell you, no one can piss me off like this man. Nobody can piss me off like this man. Yeah. Nobody can piss me off like him. Yet he's still alive. We're still together. Right? Because even though there's a lot of different, really intense circumstances that involved hardship, conflict, strife over the years, there's never been this point where I've been able to simply just be like, no, fuck you. That's it. I could do that for everybody. I can. I'll just be like, I'm good. Done. That Capricorn come in clutch. It does. It comes in clutch. Like I could just turn feelings off, like, no problem. Once I determine, and it usually takes me a bit to determine someone is toxic to that degree. Once you put me in a space where I feel like you are going to be nothing but hurtful and harmful to me, no, done. No emotions. No emotions at all. None. But in a soul-based connection, it's like, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's something where it's like, man, I guess I have to apologize. Soul-based connections are not always super easy, but they are always something that will grow you to a degree that you need to grow. Okay, all right. I know it's a tank top. I don't want to. I'm so hot. I never sweat like this, but I feel sweat dripping down. Oof, oof, oof. See, so my point is that this is not something that I'm holding on to out of desperation or obsession. This is something that I know in my heart I'm supposed to be here. There is no question. None. No question at all. So for those who are like, so does that mean, well, the fact that you're asking tells me probably not. Whatever you're going to ask, it means probably not. Probably not, right? Probably not. Now, my husband caters to me. I don't know about, I would be like, no. If you're going to treat me anything less than what I know I deserve, we could do the soul connection in another life when you get yourself situated, because I don't think so. I don't think so. Nope, not going to settle. I'm not going to settle for anything. Absolutely not. No. Someone is focused on you and cannot stop their fixation on you. That doesn't mean you have to turn this into something fully romantic. It could mean that the soul connection is simply that you guys are going to help each other learn things, either in proximity to each other and interacting with each other, or you're going to trigger each other, come together to trigger each other, separate once you're triggered, and then learn separately. There's nothing wrong with that type of learning. And it might even be this thing of whoever this person is for you, They might just be coming back around because they're needing to learn something. And in that opening themselves to learn something, you're probably going to be triggered to learn something on your own as well. There's that potential. All I know is if whoever you have in your mind and you're wondering if this reading is about them, if they've ever been toxic towards you, intentionally hurtful, intentionally harmful, I'm talking about intentionally, right? They're super petty and they say and do things to hurt your feelings on a regular basis. No, baby, this reading is not for you. That is not your person. It is not for you. It is not for you. You don't need to return back to that. There's no need for a revision. There's no need for a second go when you know the first time around they tried to destroy you. They treated you as a conquest. No, thank you. No, thank you. So, reaction. There's a lot of emotions flowing around. I think the emotions have a lot to do with the trauma-induced accretion pretty much our entire country has just experienced over the last 3 weeks or so. That's been one hell of a trauma-induced accretion, right? Hold on. My kid. My son just texted me. He wanted to know if we could train Joy to have tactical skills, battle-ready tactical skills. It's a video of a dog who has similar proportions. We can train her to do that. The dog shooting rubber bands at Coke cans. Potential in reverse. I think the potential is starting to drain out. The potential for, I hear the word communication, right? The potential for communication is starting to drain out. They're losing their like intensity. It's almost like this thing of this whole process that they're in where they're looking at you again or watching you or is it someone that you have like day-to-day interactions with? Is it like a coworker? I think my coworker has a crush on me. I think my coworker has a major crush on me. Hold on. I'm going to call him right now. I have this one coworker who has a major crush on me. He's doing something. Hello? Oh, hello? He didn't answer. He's saying hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Make food right now. What's up, hon?
I was just wondering if like you've been watching me because I feel like you have a crush on me. And that's inappropriate because I'm married.
Right. Okay. Of
Okay.
course.
You do?
Okay, I gotta go.
Don't play hard to get. I think my coworker likes me. I catch him watching me from his side of the desk. I do. And I'm just like, stop looking at me. I'm married. Yeah. Okay. So, context. All of this stuff that's happening, you need to have context for what it is. I feel I feel a lot of this message has to do with preparing you, preparing you for contact. Oh shit. I don't know. It feels like you're being prepared for the potentiality of what their proximity will do to your journey. Ooh, I think for some of you, this is going to go to the next level. I think that's what's going to happen. For some of you, this is going to go to the next level. The next level, what I mean, and y'all, I'm so innocent. Someone told me that. Multiple people have told me that. For me, the next level is actually talking. Like you're going to have actual conversation with whoever this is for you. And it might be like casual conversation at first. And it might stay casual for a while, casual conversation for a while. So, again, this is not necessarily a message trying to force you, pressure you into initiating something romantic. It's just not. It's not. It needs to be something you both choose willingly. Be careful of the people who try and convince you that, twin flame this, twin flame that. You need to be careful of it. Yeah, for me, that's next level. Don't laugh at me, sexy Jesus. Look at this. Look at this. You mean next level like communicate? Yes. What? Saying hi to someone, like verbalizing it, that's next level shit for me. I'm so serious. I'm serious. Not looking away if you look at me is also next level. It takes a lot out of me. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. So communication, if I'm not using my work voice, what does my work voice sound like? I don't use my work voice on live streams. What would my work voice? Hi, how are you? That sounds like SpongeBob. Hi, how are you? I'm Emmy. What's your name? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's horrendous. That's horrendous. Ooh. Okay, set your expectations. Set your expectations. I think a lot of what's going to happen is you're going to need to make sure you face the light, you face the reality of what this message means for you. I think for some of you who think it's about a person from your past, there's this potentiality that this is a person you have not yet interacted with, and they're a person from your past in another life. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's pull two cards. #1, #2. It might be a person from your past in a previous life. Oh, I popped it back. All right. #1, #2. Y'all are making me nervous. I don't know what's going to happen here, but it's gonna be okay. Okay. No, sexy Jesus, you're not getting a third. He said 3. #1, #2. All right. #1. Ooh, card number 27. 2 is the number of guidance. 7 is the number of completion. You're being guided to a space of completion. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. So this is going to be #1. Okay. There. #1. Third house messages. You must stay drunk on writing so reality cannot destroy you. Words have power. Now's the time to get your point across. With this card, you may also get a clearer direction in the way to proceed. The third house also represents neighborhoods and siblings. Ooh, so for those who chose #1, there is a potentiality, the whole thing about the siblings. This might be a soul sibling. You know what that means? Third house is the area of the astrological chart that reveals how we think, speak, and communicate. It signifies our need to know and demonstrate how we put our concepts and thoughts into words. You are in search of answers and in need of unlocking mysteries, but your mind is agile and you're able to grasp every detail right now. So, for those who chose #1, I think you need to rewatch this so that you can get the full details of what your soul is really needing you to know. You may wish to express this mental suppleness through writing, speaking, and researching subject matter, which has always intrigued you. Libraries call to you. You may suddenly wake up with an idea that could turn out to be very lucrative. You may even be toying with the idea of writing a book, starting a blog, perhaps a screenplay, or a position at a local news media outlet. There wouldn't be a better time than now. As well as dreamy or imaginative writing and poetry, the third house also represents dexterity, swiftness, curiosity, and figuring out the mechanisms of what makes things work. You need to figure out whoever this person is for you. You need to figure out their intentions before you truly commit to your final decision. So this could mean expressing yourself about something rather technical. The third house, more than any other house, is a house of the mind. Mercury is about giving and receiving information. When this card turns up in a reading, there's a need to uncover all that you can and relate the information to others. Ooh-wee. You know what you need. For those who chose #1, you know what you need. You need a Scorpio friend. A Scorpio or a Taurus. Now, I don't know, I'm astro illiterate, right? But I do watch people and I see those who are Scorpio, especially the gals, and Taurus, especially the gals. Scorpio and Taurus, they find out all the details. I'm saying you need a friend, a good, trusted friend who has either Scorpio or Taurus in their chart, preferably the moon. I say the moon because that's the hidden part of you. So people won't even realize that they have this super spy capability. I'm telling you. Mhm. They be finding out all kind of information, all sorts of information. So let's see what else it says. An area of commerce and sales. When the third house card presents itself in a reading, it can indicate a time of buying and selling and being involved in retail or transactions made over the internet. You got to be careful. So transactions made over the internet, right? Some relationships are intended to be transactional by the people who are trying to initiate them with us. No, do not allow that. Do not allow that. This is a time where you need to back up. This is a time where you need to just not be involved in things that don't need to involve you. There are certain things that do need to involve you. There are other things where you're already being told repeatedly, do not get involved, do not get involved, do not get involved. So be careful. Issues dealing with siblings may come up. I'm telling you, the whole twin flame thing. Yep. There may be questions you must resolve to do with brothers or sisters. Your neighborhood may even be going through some changes. This card signifies your neighborhood, so expect events that will make a difference there. It may also indicate secretive actions carried out at night, perhaps meetings or even some criminal activities. Look for noise and radical changes you may not be so happy with. It could also mean that there's an area where an area may start to appear old or decrepit. Is that part of like a part of your mindset is outdated and it needs to be allowed to come forward and be updated? Let's see. Be careful how you put your thoughts and feelings into words. Other persons may not be as warm and receptive to your words and ideas as you hope them to be. So just because you're, willing to interact with whoever this is for you, doesn't mean they'll be willing to interact with you. And just because they're willing to interact with you, doesn't mean you automatically have to be willing to interact with them. You need to make your own choices. Whatever those choices are, it has to be from you. This card can also mean you'll be talking your way into and out of tough situations. You will be mentally able to grapple with issues and sort them out well. Important documents and other paperwork are indicated. This isn't your everyday type of paper shuffling. The matter will be more significant than the usual. This is tying into Paladorian contracts. See, when I say a soul connection, this is probably a person who you have a Paladorian contract with. You probably have an existing agreement where your paths will cross at specific points in both your lives in order to push certain types of learning forward. This card also indicates a fortunate time to start a business of your own. Oh, you know what? Now is the perfect time for people to begin considering a soul-based business. Soul-based business is something that once you get it started, it basically runs itself. The type of passion that you experience, the type of inspiration and excitement, it just continues and continues and continues. And then next thing you know, it's fully established, it's sustainable, and it's your sole source of income. And sometimes when it's perfectly aligned, the type of abundance that shoots through. My soul-based business mentorship is where I help you connect to the details of what your soul wants you to do. The soul-based business mentorship, it's something that it's really helped people who are truly ready. One of my most favorite things to share from the soul-based business was someone near and dear to me who came to me for some soul-based business guidance. This was before I was offering this type of session. And there were certain options presented to them, and they were going to choose an option that would lead them right back to the same cycles, the same stagnation. And you know what they did? Because I pointed it out, like, are you choosing that from a space of fear? I mean, you're free to choose whatever you want, but this is one thing, this is another thing, and you need to know why you're choosing it. And they made their decisions on their own. Fast forward a few months, and they were just finally inserting themselves into this industry, as a professional, right? They're ridiculously intelligent. Fast forward a few months, they're featured in Forbes. So proud of them. They're featured in Forbes. They made it happen. They're still in that industry. And this happened during COVID, when everything was shutting down and businesses were, ending and all of that. This happened during COVID. And they're still doing the work they do. They're damn good at the work they do. Damn good at the work that they do. They can produce results like crazy. It's up to you what you're going to choose for those who chose one. If you're going to be faced with a fork in the road, right? You're at a fork in the road. You don't know if you should choose the left path, the right path. First and foremost, are your decisions being chosen based on the information at hand? Are you factoring out all the details that need to be factored in? Or are you simply in a reactive state, choosing something that's been perpetuating the very cycles that you're trying to exit? Because if you're choosing the same things, why are you going to expect something different? Are you happy with your life? Because if you're happy with your life, choose the same things. Some people are, it's rare, but some people are happy with where they're at. They don't want anything else. Or are you telling yourself that you don't want anything else because you've been convinced by someone else that if you want something else, then you're just ungrateful? I tell you, I live with such a grateful heart for everything, but I know this is not the only place I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to continue to grow and expand and elevate, deepen and ripen, all of that in all directions across every aspect of my life. You can be both. You can have a grateful heart and realize that the reason you feel dissatisfied with where you're at is because you're aware to some degree that there's somewhere else you also need to be. And everything you're going through right now is helping you to realize where that something else is, what that something else is, and for some, who that something else is, right? Don't be scared about making decisions. Be scared about not growing. That's much scarier. All right, for those who chose #2. All right. Here goes. If you guys are ready. Yod, destiny. A person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. Oh, Lordy Lord. A person often meets their destiny on the road they took to avoid it. No matter what, you're going to fulfill your destiny. You can either learn the hard way, which often includes elevations in potentiality because you're putting in more work, or you can do it the easy way. It don't matter. You're still going to do it. Your soul doesn't need your consent. It doesn't. It doesn't need your consent. It has decided certain things for you while leaving open opportunities to choose the options that help to cultivate your sense of personal power. But free will extends to the soul, not to the human. That's a lot of people are confused on that. Free will extends to the soul, not to the human. You can look at your soul as though it is your parent and you are still a toddler. As a toddler, you don't want to sleep, but you're out of control. It's nap time. You're cranky. Your emotions are far too big for your little ass body. You don't have the emotional experience and intelligence yet. You don't have that maturity to be able to recognize what your needs actually are. So then what happens? The parent has to guide you into a space of accepting that right now, this is what you need. One of my kids who used to struggle with self-regulation, he used to really struggle with self-regulation. I remember he's like 2 years old and he is like an Energizer bunny. He go, 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 go. Like, holy shit, bro. My brain. Yeah, he was just a bundle of energy, chaotic energy at that. It's powerful energy. But if you can't harness your chaos, it becomes detrimental for most people. It becomes very detrimental. So I recognize that, because stay-at-home mom, right? And I hella pay attention to the kids. I recognize that whenever he would get sleepy, he would start zipping around even more. He would move faster. He would speak frantically. just very excitedly, but I knew it was frantic energy. Most people would be like, oh my gosh, he's just so fun. He's just so, and it's like, no, that's fucking frantic energy right there. He don't know how to harness it. He don't know how to channel it. He doesn't know how to release it. There's no release valve. And so I began letting him know, like, first I would whisper, and kids are nosy. If your kid doesn't listen to you, don't yell. Look at them and whisper. When they notice that you're whispering, they're going to be like, what? Come here. I'll tell you. So that's what I would do to him. I would whisper. And then he would come to me and he would think it was a game. And he'd be like, you see how your body feels right now? Yeah. That's your body telling you you're tired. No, I'm not tired. Okay. Do me a favor. Can you just lay your head down? I don't want to lay down. You don't have to lay down, but lay your head down. So he would lay there on the couch. He would stand up by the couch and lay his head on the couch. And I would tell him, we just need to give your mind a couple minutes, okay? So you're just going to put your head down on the couch. You can still stand up. Put your head on the couch and close your eyes for 3 minutes. I will tell you when 3 minutes is up. And I never lied to my kids, so my kids know I'm not lying to you. If I tell you I'm going to tell you in 3 minutes, I'm going to tell you when 3 minutes is up. It's not timeout. It's not timeout. It's not punishment. It's about listening to your body. That's what I would explain to him. You need to listen to your body. Your body's telling you something. I tell you, by the end of a minute, 90 seconds tops, this little boy is snoring. He's snoring. See, most of us don't realize what we are doing is avoiding the very thing that we need. We don't know ourselves. We don't know our energy. We don't know what our true needs are because we've had people telling us for how long, that means this means that. No. One of the most powerful things I was able to do for him at that point in his growth was ask him to simply slow down and let your body talk to you. And it didn't take very long, a couple weeks. And he began to realize when he gets ramped up like that, his body is letting him know we are tired. We are tired. And that's actually a trauma response. He had emergency surgery as a newborn. He's only 3 days old. He had emergency surgery as a newborn. He almost died. And so when he gets into that space of being tired, when he was a toddler, he would then go into hyper overdrive. His body is like, we're going to die, we're going to die. So then he would get very frantic, but because he's hella cute, yeah, people would think like, oh, he's just really full of energy. No, his body's afraid it's shutting down. He's going into survival mode. But you can't tell that to a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old. You can't tell them that. They don't have the life experience to understand what that means. So instead of explaining it in that way, you say, slow down for a moment. Allow the information to catch up with the experience. Those who chose number 2, you need to slow down for a moment and allow the information, the awareness to catch up with the experience that you're having. No one knows what any of these things mean but you. I can take some very good guesses. I can. And sometimes my guesses are accurate. They're still just guesses. I can only read you based on your current mindset. And this is true for all psychic people, channelers, mediums, whatever they identify as. Something changes in you, the reading changes. There's been several times where I've done reading, in-depth reading for someone, and their mindset is calibrated a certain way. And so I'm giving them the trajectory of that mindset. And because I'm giving this information, and sometimes it's precognitive information, once they receive it, the dots start to appear and their able to connect the dots. And because that's happening, then they're able to understand, oh, wow, I had this all wrong. Oh, wow, I need to choose something different. And then suddenly something shifts. The reading completely changes. It completely changes because now the trajectory has been altered. 1 degree of adjustment, if you go far enough down that line, it creates tremendous change. It takes you to a whole different place. You don't have to do a 180. You don't even have to do a 90. You don't even have to do a 45-degree change. Just 1 degree of shift, your entire trajectory changes if you follow it further. If you follow it far down enough, it completely changes your entire life. If you don't know what these events mean, you need to slow down. You have to be patient with your process. You can't be rushing and trying to force and reading after reading after reading after reading after reading. They're not going to give you the information. The information is inside you. And the more people you involve in an internal process, the more muddled things become. A person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. So my son, who I told you had self-regulation struggles as a toddler, I have self-regulation struggles sometimes. He's very much like me. We're very similar. People think that when I get very hyperactive, that it's just fun, it's this. No, my senses are overwhelmed. I'm overloaded. People think that, oh, Emmy loves to sing. She should be a singer. I can't sing. I'm stimming. I'm stimming. My brain is overwhelmed. So much information. I'm overwhelmed. And I need to purge and release in whatever way I can, which is often stimming. Right? So for much of my life, I've been being told and shown a specific path that I'm supposed to be on. And I've done everything in my power to avoid it. Wouldn't you know? Everything that I did to avoid the very thing I needed to do was the very thing that led me to the place where I am right now. Exactly where I'm supposed to be, doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. Little do you know, you're already halfway there. Halfway to what? I don't know. It's not for me to know. The ancients believed that Yod was an area of fate in the chart and not a particularly favorable one. Also called the eye of God or the finger of God, the Yod is a peculiar astrological configuration in a chart. It's a triangle formed by 2 planets 60 degrees apart, while both are 150 degrees from a third planet. This creates a thin pie-shaped aspect. The Yod configuration is linked to the Hebrew alphabet Yod or Yud and is the 10th letter of the alphabet. It has magical implications signifying the omnipresence of God and often denoting humility because the energy is locked in that triangular configuration, causing matters to be fated and often difficult, but not without their rewards. Ooh, fated matters, humility. I came across this video recently. Well, this is maybe the 3rd time I've come across it, where the man talks about how you cannot be humble if you don't know your power. Fake humbleness. I'm wondering if those who chose number 2, if you think that you're less than because you're misunderstanding your humility, your humbleness. You're misunderstanding the severity of your life is not evidence of your diminished value. It's not evidence of less than purpose. It's not evidence of you being punished. It's actually in real life experience of training, preparation, and cultivation of skills, mindset, maturity. preparing you for a very elevated purpose in life. And whoever this person is that's coming forward in this reading, they have some role to play in that. It might be one of adversity. It might be one of love, friendship, community, camaraderie, who you don't know. None of us knows. Michael says, no, that's wrong. Okay, correct me, please. None of us knows but you. And the only reason you feel like you don't know is because you're afraid of what the answer actually means. I like that. That was good. That was good. This configuration is influential and implies that there is a disruptive force at work. So for some of you, this is probably a person that irritates the shit out of you. That's okay. In a sense, this astrological placement of planets is somewhat in exile from the other planetary energies because they are not harmonious with each other and therefore cause tension. Yep. I think for some of you, it's like a twin thing. Bells make demons go away. I'm serious. Bells drive demons away. I'm joking. I'm joking. Michael goes, be aware of what you're implying. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Anyways, this can bring about feelings of intense stress and restriction. There can also be a sense of being different, feeling alone and out of step with others at times. A yod in a natal chart. Yod in a natal chart can even indicate being the black sheep of the family. For many of you in our community, you're the black sheep of the family. You already know this. That's why you resonate so deeply with this space, because we're a community of the black sheeps, right? Oh, that's so cute. We're a community of black sheeps. When the Yod card presents itself in a reading, it means the situation may be chaotic or may soon turn that way. It will be hard to see any clear path because of this chaos, but it will be important to weather through it all. This is not always bad because it's a process of finding what works and what isn't functioning. And now will be the time to be scaling things down and weeding out what is unnecessary. So for some of you, who chose number 2, you're going to see things ending, friendships and whatnot ending, maybe relationships, maybe work partnerships. I don't know. Let's see. But more than that, this card is about finding your own truth, even though the truth may not be reflected through others. Okay, so I think for some of you who chose number 2, you're going to be faced with someone who is an externalized representation of an internal ethos that you've been carrying, an ethos, a mindset that is outdated and no longer supportive of your growth. So you're going to be faced with this person because it's time for you to see the way you function. It's time. It's time for you to see the way you function. Oh, so my brain is being brought back to a time where I did have an interaction with a twin who literally just like me, or very much alike. And it was this thing of being able to see the way I function in situations and seeing that I don't really like that. I don't really like that. For example, like I often will just disappear in a conversation. Squirrel brain. Um, we'll be communicating and then I'll just stop responding because something caught my attention, and then that's just it. I forget I'm talking to someone. And then sometimes there'll be times where I just disappear. Not so much now, but this was very heavily something I would do years ago, where I'm overwhelmed by social media because if I share something, then a lot of people will start commenting on it. This is before any Emmy evolving stuff. I would share something and people would like go bonkers on the post, And then that would overwhelm me. And so I would just completely deactivate my account. I wouldn't just log off, I would deactivate it. And then I had people who were like, oh my gosh, whenever you disappear like that, it makes me feel rejected. It makes me feel like an orphan. And I'm like, what? You don't even know me though. Like we've chatted a few times. Why would I have that kind of effect on you? I don't understand. Well, because I filled a void that existed in their life before I arrived. My husband and I were talking about recently what I used to do on Facebook when I was only on Facebook. The first maybe 50, 60, sometimes 100 people in my chat messenger, because you know how the most recent message will be at the top. I'll write this message of just pure love and support. I used to call it a love bomb. And then I would personally send that to every single person in my chat box until my hands get tired. And so these people who were random strangers to me began seeing me as someone who fills a void for them. And when I suddenly disappear, it's devastating to them. And I didn't understand. I didn't understand until I saw it reflected outside of me. And I was like, oh, I wasn't devastated, but I was like, oh, okay. Is that what that is? Is that what? And I've had people explain this to me over the years, like, Emmy, your energy and your focus, your presence takes so much space in people's lives once they're introduced to you. And it's like you become basically like their mother. I mean, could you imagine what it feels like to have your mother block you on social media? And I was like, but I didn't block anyone because I still didn't understand. And he's like, but when you deactivate, that's what it feels like. You pull all your energy back and this huge void is left. And I was like, I didn't get it until I felt someone with the same gravity of energy. And then they pulled their energy back. And I was like, oh, is that what that is? Is that why people be freaking out? Because that's a lot of energy that displaces everything. There's a lot of energy, and it's not something that's done intentionally, right? I'm wondering if maybe part of the message here is that you function in that same way. There's a lot of energy that you push out there. And a lot of the things that ends up happening, the conflict that arises, is because these people feel entitled to you. That needs to be corrected. That needs to be corrected. What's yours is yours. And it needs to be made clear that what you are sharing actually belongs to you and you're just being generous with yourself. And much of your energy needs to go back to you at this point because you're being prepared to get back on a path that leads you to your destiny. Yeah. So no more allowing for like mad grabs for your attention and your energy. You need to be very conscious about what's happening. You will still get to that end zone. You will still get to that end point where your destiny is waiting for you. You're actually living your destiny every moment of your life, if we're really going to be honest here. But that end result, you will still have it no matter what. It's just, will you be tattered and battered by the time you arrive? Or will you be well rested and ready to handle the next part? For those who chose #2, that's the question placed before you. Those are the decisions you need to make. I don't know the fine details. Yeah, this card can denote a time to voyage inward and come to your own truth. There really isn't anyone who will have the tools to figure this out more so than you at this time. So now may not be the best time to take advice from others. See what I'm saying? Your inner knowing has it already. You just have to take the time to process the information to come to your own answers. So going back to that sharing of my child when he was like 2 or 3 years old, after a while, I wouldn't have to whisper and tell him to just lay his head down for a few minutes. He would just lay his head down while standing. It was very common for him to sleep standing up. He would lay his head on the couch while standing. And I'd be like, "Are you okay? You feel okay?" He's like, "Yes." And I would know, like, oh, okay, he's trying to figure himself out. And now, like, my kids don't have bedtimes. They don't have bedtimes at all. They don't have waking up times. They don't. It's this thing of, what's your body tell you? So sometimes they'll be like, hey, I'm going to take a nap. My body feels tired. Go right ahead. There's times where they wake up hell early. I'm like, what you doing so early? My body's awake. Okay. Right? They're fully autonomous. They're fully autonomous. I think this is a time for you to become fully autonomous. Separate yourself from the paradigm that is society, these different parameters that you're forced to exist within because someone else felt like it was appropriate. No, you need to start deciding for yourself what is appropriate for you and what makes you the strongest version of yourself. So, guys, really quick, I have the Baneful Protection Workshop is coming up quick. We have a few spots left. This is going to be a really powerful workshop because I'm teaching you all sorts of extremely potent methods to create boundaries and enforce them. With all of the messaging that came in the last few days for the whole ball thing and the storms, I hope you guys realize, and to me, it's kind of common knowledge, but one of the sanctuary members had shared information, and it's this thing tying back to satanic ritual. During satanic rituals, they call in all of the cardinal demons. Those are the demons that rule the directions, north, south, east, west, and then there's a central. So there's going to be more coming through. You guys, if you really want to know how to enforce your space, how to powerfully defend your family, because some of the options for the Baneful Protection tickets involve actual apothecary kits. So I've been very busy with that as well, creating some really intense magical things. For example, there are certain things that I'm going to be including in that apothecary kit that involves stuff that is a byproduct of all the fire ceremonies I've had over the last several years. Nothing from a fire ceremony is ever thrown away. My family knows this. Nothing is ever thrown away, not ash, not nothing. So when I say this particular workshop is going to help you powerfully defend your space, I'm going to teach you how. It's not me teaching you how to target someone and harm them. Baneful magic has been used in that way before. No. I know baneful magic from its origins. I wasn't taught this and I wasn't read this in a book. I didn't read this in a book. I know it from its origins, and the origins, the true origins of baneful magic is to defend communities from demonic things. It uses their knowledge. So that's what that workshop is. It's coming up quick. I also have the Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop. We still have a little bit of time for that. If you want to learn how to work energy the way I do, you want to learn the fundamentals, go take this workshop, click on the link or the QR code. I also have the Secure Spaces event. This is where we're removing all the anchors that were placed. I shared in a previous live stream, a recent one. It makes sense now why they were putting anchors. It was to anchor that entity that came in through the storm. And then, of course, later today, I'm going to be doing the Protection Tea Party. That's going to be on TikTok. If you need me to work on you, need a reading, a scan, whatever it is, click on this QR code or the link in the comment. That will give you all the information you need. And if you're ever curious about any of my events, any of my platforms, any of my services, academy, whatever it is, this link right here has all the information about me and what I do. So if you ever want to find something, this is where you go. It's my Hubi link. You can find everything there. All right, guys, I got to get going. Class is starting. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye, everybody. Oh, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to like, share,